Shut my mouth and do what I was told? Absolutely. When I was in college, I worked as a baker for a well-known regional bagel and sandwich chain. At some point an assistant manager transferred to my store who was the stereotypical petty, power-tripping, ridiculous manager you find in this type of job. Her specialty was yelling at and berating employees in front of customers. I will never not believe that she enjoyed publicly humiliating people. It was tolerable until I agreed to cover a shift at the store she transferred from. Someone there asked me what I thought of her. I thought I was careful as I just commented that she had very high expectations which were hard for some people to meet. Understatement of the year. Well, this lovely person passed this back to her which shot me to the top of her shit list. What followed was a series of write-ups for egregious violations like missing some seeds when mopping the floor or not emptying a garbage can that had a single paper towel in it. Lucky for me I was one of the few people there certified to run the ovens. My opportunity for malicious compliance came one Saturday lunchtime when a charter bus pulled up. I'd seen this before and knew that a bus full of people buying sandwiches is equivalent to 2 to 3 people bringing bagels to work. Barely a blip compared to morning rush. I went to the counter to help and Ms. Assistant Manager yells at me to get back into the kitchen and start baking more. I tried to tell her we were fine but as soon as I opened my mouth she yelled, "Shut your goddamn mouth, do what I told you, and don't stop baking until I say stop." Two important things to know is that first, when I took my certification test, they told me I passed it with the second fastest time on record for the local franchise. The second thing is that the ovens were adjustable. You could turn up the heat to speed up the cooking process. I went back to the baking area, cranked up the oven and baked as fast as I possibly could. The ovens had 8 shelves, holding about 48 bagels each. Eventually I had them all filled up and was only gated by how fast they could cook, and I could send them up front. Ms. Assistant Manager was down at the register this whole time, and was not paying attention to stock levels in the bagel bins. I kept bringing out shelf after shelf. At one point, the bins were overflowing so I had to start putting them in extra bins we kept in the back. Once those were full, I started putting them in on metal trays. The crowd finally died down and Ms. Assistant Manager finally looks at the bagel bins and realizes she never told me to stop. She asked me if there was anything still baking and I informed her that every shelf was full. She lost it and started yelling that I was getting fired until multiple people pointed out that I just did exactly what she asked. The store manager ended up coming in and pretty much everyone told them the exact same story. Ms. Assistant Manager had to bag up the mountains of excess bagels and drive them to all the other stores in the area so that they wouldn't go to waste. Even after that, we still exceeded the allowed wastage for the day, and she was reprimanded. She still yelled at everyone after that but she was at least more careful in her wording.